Zvulun's monologue. Take 1. Action. Hello, my name is Zvulun. I'm one of Yaakov's sons, and I just want to get something off of my chest. Me and my brothers recently found out that one of the rulers of Egypt is actually our long-lost brother, Yosef. And it was great, and Yosef gave us hugs, and he gave us a place to live in Egypt, and he provided us with tons of food during a time of famine. And he was being super nice to us, and we love him for it. Except, he wasn't always that great. Because Yosef didn't reveal himself to us right away. Actually, he put us through months of psychological torture before revealing himself to us. When we first got down to Egypt and we met with him when we still thought he was just a regular ruler, he first accused us of being spies. Then he sent us back home to cause this rift between us and our father Yaakov by ripping our brother Binyamin away from our father and bringing him down to Egypt. And then we discovered that the money we had paid for the food, Yosef actually slipped that money back into our sacks, so we thought we were going to be in trouble. Then when we get down to Egypt, Yosef invites us to his house for a meal, and no one goes to the ruler's house for a meal. So we thought it was all a setup, some sort of trap. And then eventually he hides his royal cup in Binyamin's bag and says he's going to take Binyamin as a servant. And we're all freaking out, and he's psychologically torturing us. And only then does he reveal his true identity, that he's actually Yosef. And only then does he start being super nice to us. But couldn't Yosef have just done that initially? Why did he put us through all this pain and hurt for all these couple of months in the first place? He could have avoided all of that. And to be honest, I just don't understand why Yosef acted the way he did. And to be honest, I'm feeling a little hurt. And I'm a little sad right now. And scene. Don't you feel bad for poor Zvulun? I mean, yes, Yosef probably had some sort of agenda, some reason for why he acted the way he did. But did he not take his brother's feelings into account? Did he not understand that he was going to cause him so much hurt and so much pain? So Rav Hirsch is bothered by this question. What Rav Hirsch does is he explains that Yosef's goal during these couple of months from the time he first discovered that his brothers had come down to Egypt to the time that he eventually reveals himself to him, that Yosef's goal was not just to get his brothers to know his identity, because if that was the case, Yosef would have done that right away. But Yosef's goal was to restore his relationship with his brothers the way it originally was, back even before Yosef was thrown into a pit, back before this tension and drama existed between Yosef and his brothers, back to the kind of normal relationship, a loving relationship that brothers should have. And how is Yosef going to ensure that this happens? You see, Rav Hirsch explains. If you remember back 22 years ago, when the brothers did throw Yosef into a pit, they weren't at a good place in their relationship. Because Yosef had just told them that he had these dreams where he's going to be the super powerful ruler, and they were all going to bow down to him. And his brothers were starting to get a little concerned, and they kind of deposed of him almost for their own safety, because they were concerned that Yosef was starting to get this giant ego, and he was going to hurt them because he thought that he was way more powerful than them, and that's why they got rid of Yosef. And now, if Yosef in Egypt, when he's actually serving as a ruler, if he was to reveal himself as ruler right then and there, not only does Yosef now have power that he didn't have before, but also he has a reason to hate them, which he didn't have before. The brothers would be even more scared than they initially were when they initially threw him into a pit. And they would have even more of a reason to fear that Yosef would hurt them. And that's why Yosef couldn't have revealed himself to them initially told him his identity, because then they would know who he is, but it wouldn't have restored their relationship to the way it once was. So what Yosef does, Rav Hirsch explains, is something extremely smart. Yosef first puts them through months of psychological torture and really hurts them. Why? In order to drill into their minds how powerful he actually is, and how much capacity and how much bad he's able to do to them. And then he reveals himself, so that the brothers know that Yosef, even though he has all this power, he's actually still Yosef, and he's willing to be kind to them despite the power that he has. If Yosef would have revealed himself initially, they wouldn't have understood the true extent of his power. They wouldn't have understood, therefore, the true extent of his kindness. But once they saw just how powerful Yosef was and just how much he could actually do to them, only then were they truly able to appreciate his kindness, and only then were they able to restore their relationship to the way it once was. And they were able to recognize that even though Yosef in theory could do anything he wanted to hurt them, he's not going to, because he truly loves them. And the reason why he's kind to them is not because he has no other choice. He does have the option to hurt them, but it's because he has the option to hurt them, and he's choosing to put that option aside because he really loves them and wants to restore their relationship to the way it once was. With that in mind, let's redo our monologue with Zvulun, this time with a positive spin. Zvulun's monologue, take 2, action. Hello, my name is Vilun, one of Yaakov's sons. And I just had a shocking thing happen in my life. My brother Yosef just revealed to me that he is the ruler of Egypt. And even though he didn't reveal himself to me right away, it took a couple of months and there was a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, and he psychologically traumatized me and my brothers. I understand why he did what he did. Because if he would have revealed himself right away, it would have been a lot of animosity between us and him. And Yosef didn't want that. Yosef wanted a real relationship with us, his brothers. And I understand that even though Yosef put me through a lot of pain, he's essentially looking me in the eye and telling me the following. Zvulun, I love you, brother. And even though right now I'm putting you through a lot of pain, but not revealing my true identity to you, I'm doing it because I love you, and because I know this is the only way to ensure our relationship is able to be the best that it could be. And I truly value our relationship more than anything in the world. And I want you to know that even though I'm putting you through pain now, it's not because I hate you. It's because I want to eventually get to a place of love. And just like a parent sometimes has to hurt their child in order to do what's best for the child, or a doctor has to cut open a patient in order to best help the patient, or Hashem has to sometimes give us suffering in order for us to be able to grow. A lot of times you need tears in order for flowers to flourish, and that, my brother, is exactly what I want for you. I'm putting you through pain right now, but it's because I love you and I want to restore our relationship to the way it was. And to be honest, I hear Yosef, and I forgive him for putting me through this pain, because I love him too, and I want our relationship to get back to the way it was. And scene. Okay? Everyone have a great Shabbos. Bye-bye.